Oh, it's working. They straightened it out for you?
No, what had happened one of the other days, somebody was on one of the channels and never
shut it off.
Shut it down. So I guess we're on certain. You know what was the reason this got all issued was on Sunday mornings while we were having daf, the women had to be on Zoom for the Tehillim. So that's what, so there were certain times when there were
where both channels were
both
being
channels
used.
were right.
Are common. My sons are raised Bill's fathers are raised
But I understand. But if they refuse it because you davening in Torah or
I would say there was people because davening in Torah or it's problematic with the clear glass. And I even now have to you go to the office because they put me up front, not in the back where it's darker. So I got to ask them to change.
Okay. All right, let's go through our sponsors, please. Friends of Nina Monester, Nachama Asna Bad Yitzchak Aharon. A year of learning, many friends of Stephen Vigdor, Lezechen Nishmat Simcha Melech Ben Meir Halevi. Friends of Marcy Kurtz, in memory of her great niece, Leah Bracha Bas Rivka, as well as a refuah shlema for her, for Marcy Kurtz. Isaac and Evelyn Blacher, in memory of his sister, Chaya Rachel Bas Esser. Friends of Leonie Meiselman, Leah Sabra Bas Chanoch Zundel. A month of learning by Andrea and David Dolmy, in memory of her father, Tzvi Herschel Hillel Ben Abraham. Del Bodlander, in memory of his father, Tzvi Ben Yaakov Yitzchak, his mother, Bela Devasha Bas Arav Dov Beresh, his father-in-law, Yehuda Tzvi Ben David Nachum, and his mother-in-law, Alta Chaya Bas Avram Yosef. Mel and Haran Haller, in memory of his father, Avram Ben Zev. A week of learning by Michael and Sharon Glass, in memory of his father, his mother, Rivka Yita Bad Yitzchak Kohen. And today is the 22nd. So that is it for today in terms of any days of learning. We are keeping in mind Peret Semach Ben Yaakov Yitzchak, as well as Bachor Moshe Ruben Ben Sima Tebela, Miriam Rivka Bas Bracha, David Aharon Halevi Ben Sarah. Amen. Shabbos having Aliyah, Crank Rafia, Vapi Yeshua, Shem Leah, and the whole Bnei Israel, good to Ben Shem.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, gentlemen. Yeah. We, as I said, we should be using the, if you're using Art Scroll, it should be volume 3. Okay.
It's not, you'll have difficulty.
A little bit. Okay. Okay. I know we're running quite late this morning. All right, we'll go through what we can. Okay. On Ayin Chet, top of the Amud, right? We start off with a new parak, a new topic, somewhat, with Yusufrukt, otherwise known as Peros, right? So we're discussing a number of questions.
Income from
okay, regarding the fact that Mrs. McGillicuddy, who, I know it's not usually a Jewish name, but she was Irish. Okay, she was an Irish Jew. Sure. Okay, that she married Mr. O'Brien, okay, who also was a, all right, maybe they were converts, who knows?
Then she can't inherit that.
I know. Okay, I'm just kibitzing. Okay, in any case, we have a woman, a young woman, who has inherited property.
Or acquired in some
way. I like inheritance because that helps us with other issues. She could inherit it while she's before engaged or before an arusa. She could inherit it while she's in arusa. She could inherit it when she's in nesua. Okay, all three are possibilities. Okay, now, okay, to what degree does the husband, we'll still call him a husband, even in the status of arusa, okay, and it was interesting, Corin had a long note on this, Okay. All right.
We were discussing what are you going to call him.
Okay. I'm going to call him husband right now. Okay. Extensive note on defining it, and it was as we have discussed. It was basically the reason they emphasized the issue of the fact that if in the Arusa status there were certain issues, he would still have to give her a get, okay, and things like that. So it was okay. So it was as I said, an extensive note.
The Torah says if she's okay.
So coming back, right. So what happens? And that's the second item we discussed. If she's promiscuous, right? Okay, but our focus right now is she could inherit that property. Okay, in one of those three conditions: pre-arusa, arusa, nesua. Okay, under what circumstances might that quote husband, okay, then be able to benefit from the fact that she has this property, okay, and use it. That's where it gets the name usufruct, okay? All right. Having said that as our quick introduction, okay? No, that's not. Oh, it could be, okay? No, that was how I was always taught it, even, okay? But what happens? Ha'isha shenaflu la nichasim ad shelo titares. Regarding the woman for whom there were properties or material, whatever, that, okay, properties, I think is okay, that came to her before she became engaged, right? That's our first status, we said. Modim Beit Shammai u Beit Hillel. There's an agreement between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. Shemocheret v'notenet. If she sells it or gives it as a gift, and I'm turning the vav here as an or, vikayem, then it is valid.
It transfers.
Right. Okay. Right. So that's the first case. Second case, second status. Naflula mishenit arsa. Okay, this property came into her possession between the status of arusa, while she's an arusa, before the nesuin. Okay. Beit Shammai omrim timkor. Beit Shammai says she should sell it. Beit Hillel omrim lo timkor. She cannot sell it. Elu ve'elu modin. The two of them agree. That's Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. She'im machra v'natna. She, okay, that were she to have sold it or have given it as a gift, kayam, okay, then it is valid. So lechatchila, there's a difference, but the evid, there's not. Okay, we go on. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, this is Rabbi Yehuda. Amru chachamim, the sages say, lefnei Rabban Gamliel, ho'il v'zacha be'isha. They ask the question of Rabban Gamliel, since the man, okay, in the status of arusa, has merited the fact that she is now in relationship with him, okay, therefore, lo yizkeh b'nechasim. Shouldn't he not therefore be also merit the property? Okay, Amar lehem. Rabban Gamliel answered them as follows: Al hachadashim anu boshim. Okay, regarding new property that she has gained in the status of arusa, okay, we are ashamed to decide why she should not be able to sell it. Ela she'atem megalgalim aleinu et hayishanim. But now you're bringing in the fact that she could have had some pre-arusa property, and now you're going to ask us to deal with that too, kind of thing.
You're going to ask us to prohibit her selling.
Okay. Well, to deal with that in whatever, however she handles it, either sale or gift. Okay, that's the point. Naflula mishaniseit. Here's our third category. Okay, we had pre-arusa, we had arusa Now we have Nesua. Okay? All right. So what happens? Elu ve'elu modim, she'im machra v'natna, both these and these, again, Beit Shammai, Beit Hillel. Okay, that if she sold it or she gave it as a gift, shehabal motzi miyad halikuchot, that the husband, since he can take it back from the purchasers. Okay, ad shaloni seit, up to the time before she's married, vini seit, and then marries. Rabban Gamliel Omer, says Rabban Gamliel, im machra v'nitna kayam. If she sold it or gave it as a gift, it's valid according to Rabban Gamliel. Amar Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia, he says as follows: Amru lefnei Rabban Gamliel. Again, the sages came to Rabban Gamliel and challenged him. Ho'il v'zacha be'isha lo yizkeh b'nechasim. Since he now merits her as his wife. That's how I'm going to suggest we understand it. Lo yizkeh b'nechasim. Should he not then merit that property? Okay. Right. Amar lehem. Rabban Gamliel answers, Al hachadashim anu boshim. Again, regarding new property that she's gained, we're ashamed to decide why not she's able to sell or give it away. Okay? Ella rather, she'atem megalgalim aleinu yishanim. But now you're bringing in, again, the older pre-existent property that she could have had. What happens? Rabbi Shimon cholek bein nechasim lenechasim. Rabbi Shimon makes a difference in the kind of properties that she has acquired. Nechasim hayedu'in lebal, property that is known, okay, by the husband. Lo timkor, she should not sell. Ve'im machra v'nidna, but b'diavad we're saying, if she sold it or gave it away, batel, then that transaction is invalid. Okay? She'enan yudi'im lebal, but property that's not known to the husband, lo timkor, she should not sell. Ve'im machra v'nitna, but if she did b'diavad sell it or gave it away, kayem, then that is a valid transaction. We get now to a Gemara. Ma'ishna Reisha. What is the difference between the first part of the statement, in other words, the first clause where she inherited property as an arusa, versus the second clause when she inherited it after the arusa? That's what I said. Right. She inherited property before the arusa, okay, versus when she inherited it after her status of arusa. Okay. All right. Okay, so what happens? The lo plige, that they're not arguing. Umayshna sefa, and whereas the later example, okay, that they are arguing. Amre debe Rabbi Yanai. They said, according to the Academy of Rabbi Yanai, Reisha bizechuta naflu. Okay, regarding the earlier example, that was bequeathed to her, that she has rights to that property. Okay, that's why. Seifa really got regarding the second example, bizechuto naflu. Okay, they were bequeathed to her when he had supposedly merits rights to the property. Ve'im bizechuto, okay, naflu. And if we say that it was bequeathed to her while he should have rights to the property, ki machra v'nitna, were it such that she sold it or gave it away, amai kayam, why do we consider it valid? Ella rather, Reisha, so the Gemara is going to come back as soon as we see Ella. Remember, it's an alternative explanation. Okay, Reisha rather in the earlier case, pre-arusa, okay? Reisha in that case, vadai b'zchuta naflu. Certainly in her merit, let's say, that property.
She certainly owns it 100%. Okay,
it's hers. Seifa, with regards to the later example, okay? Emar b'zchuta, emar b'zchuto. I might say it's in her merit, I might say it's in his merit. Okay? Lechatchila, lo. Initially, no. Lo, I'm sorry. Lechatchila, lo timkor. Initially, she should not sell it. Imachra v'natna. But if she did, b'di'evid, sell it or gave it, kayam, then it's valid. Okay. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Amru lefnei Rabban Gamliel. Ibayalahu. So they asked, right? Rabbi Yehuda, al-Chatchila, Obadiavad. When Rabbi Yehuda made his statement, okay? Was it only according to Beit Shammai, okay? Or was it, so that would be l'Chatchila. Okay, or if it's b'di'evid, if it's after the fact, then it would be valid also according to Beit Hillel. Okay, so what happens? Figured out a new way to make my notes. That's why I was able to read it better. Okay, all right, so we go to the next Amud, right? Okay, rolling. Tashma, listen to the following Braita. The Tanya, as we taught in this Braita. Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Says Rabbi Yehuda, Amru lefnei Rabban Gamliel. They said before Rabban Gamliel, Ho'il v'zo ishto. V'zo ishto. Since in this case she's married, and in this case she was betrothed, okay? But in both cases, she is really considered his wife. Right, let me finish the comment, okay? Zo michrah batel. In one case, when she sells it, it is invalid. Afzo michrah batel. So likewise, in the other case, if she sells it, we're going to consider it invalid. Okay? Amar lehem. He said to them, Al hachadashim anu boshim. Again, for new material, we're embarrassed. Okay? Ela she'atem megalgalim aleinu et hayishanim. But again, you're bringing back the old pre-existing material.
That rule to stop
right? Shion before Arusa. Shmamina. Therefore, we learn from this, okay, that Rabbi Yehuda's, right, view was diavad kamar, that he said it as a diavad statement. Shmamina. Indeed, that's what we learn. Okay, we go on with a new Braita though. Tanya, another Braita teaches. Amar Rabbi Chanina ben Akavya. He said as follows, and again, Koren had an interesting note about who he was. Yeah.
Is it Chanina ben Akavya or Chanana ben Akavya, or are they two different people?
Good question. Since the yud is there between the two nuns, I would read it as Chanina ben Akavya.
And it's a different person than a Chanana ben Akavya? Thank you.
Okay, that's how I would see it. Koren, again, we can always look. By the way, the new Art Scroll has a terrific introduction to the Gemara. Okay, in there, one section gives a biography of various. So you might want to look it up again in there
also,
too.
Malcolm Morris knows even more than the Art Scroll.
Okay, but I'm just pointing out that since you have that safer, you could look it up there as well. Okay. Lo kach hashivan Rabban Gamliel lechachamim. No, that wasn't the way that Rabban Gamliel answered the sages. Elekach hashivan. This is how he answered them. Lo. No, you still can't make that parallel that was attempted at the beginning of the Amud. Im amartem benisuah. Because were you to say that she inherited when she was already clearly married, Shekain ba'ala zakai b'metziata, where in that status the husband merits what she finds, ub'ma'aseh yadeha, and her earnings, u'b'hafarat nidareha, and he has the responsibility to nullify her vows. Tamru, are you going to say ba'arusa, with regards to the arusa status, she'ein ba'alah zakai, where the husband is not meriting lo b'metziuta, neither what she finds, v'lo b'ma'aseh yadeha, and not her earnings, v'lo b'hafarat nidareha, and not what her vows, right? Because there, remember, we saw that both the father and the husband have to do it together regarding Nidari. Okay, Amrulo. They said to him, Rebbe. Okay, Machra la ad shalonis ate. If she sold it before the time that she was of the Nisuin, in other words, while she was still in an Arusa status, Nis ate v'achar kach machra. If she married and then sold it, Mahu, what's the status? Amar laho. So he said to them, okay, namely, af zo mocheret v'notenet v'kayam. Even in that case,
according to him,
right? According to how he understood Rabban Gamliel's position, okay, she can sell it, she can give it, and it is valid. Okay, Amrulo, the other sages challenged. Ho'il v'zacha be'isha, lo yizkeh b'nechasim, since he merited her status now as a wife, do we not say that he also merits and gains the property? Amar lahem, he gave them an answer. Al hachadashim anu boshin, same answer. Okay, yeah, right? Ela sha'atem megalgalim aleinu et hayishanim, but you bring upon us the question of earlier preexistence. Va'anantna, but we ourselves teach as follows. Ad shalo nisait v'nisait, up till the time before she married, in other words, when she was in Arusa, v'nisait, okay, and then married. Rabban Gamliel Omer, Rabban Gamliel says, Imachra v'netna kayam. If she sells it and or gives it, it is valid. Okay, Amar Rav Zevid, but Rav Zevid tells us, Tane, we teach it as follows. Mocheret v'notenet kayam. Okay, she sells it or gives it, it's valid, implying she may sell or give it away initially. Rav Papa Amar says, Rav Papa, lo kasha. It's not really a problem here. Ha, Rabbi Yehuda, aliba de Rabban Gamliel. One is the view of Rabbi Yehuda, how he understands Rabban Gamliel. Okay. The Ha, Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia, aliba de Rabban Gamliel, and one is Rabbi Chanina ben Akiva, also according to Rabban Gamliel, but it's a different situation. Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia k'beit Shammai. Are you saying then that Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia is going to hold like a view like Beit Shammai? Hachi ka'ama. This is what he really means to come and tell us. Lo nichlaku Beit Shammai u Beit Hillel al davar zeh. That Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel really did not disagree on this particular item. Rav u'Shmuel, the Amrei Travaihu, and Rav and Shmuel, okay, said both of them say the following: Bein shenaflula nechasim ad shalonit arsa. Whether the property came into her, I'm going to say possession, before she became an arusa, so that's stage, we'll call it one, for example. Bein shenaflula nechasim meshinit arsa, or it became her property while she was in the status of an arusa, stage number 2. Okay, vinisate, and then she became married. Haba'al motzi miyad halikuchot. The husband may take it from the hands of the purchasers. Kiman, according to whom?
That's a brand new notion.
That's a new concept, right? Delo Rabbi Yehuda, velo Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia. That's neither like Rabbi Yehuda, nor is it like the explanation given by Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia. So what happens? In whom the Amrei Kirabotenu. Excuse me. Okay, we say as our.
He's paskening like the Rabbanan who argue with Rabbi
Gamliel, right? Okay, we are saying like our earlier masters. Let's put it that way. Kirabotein Titania, who taught as follows. Rabotenu chazru v'nimnu, bein shenaflu la ad shelo titares. Okay, the rabbis, our sages, our previous generation, okay, they came together and they took a vote. That's what nimnu means here. And they took a vote. Bein shenaflu la ad shelo titares, whether the property was acquired by her before she became an arusa, bein shenafla la mishenit arsa v'niseit, or whether the property was acquired by her while she was an arusa and then became married. Habal motzei miyad helikuchot. The husband can take it from the purchasers. That's the point. Okay? All right. Well, who's zochela? Okay?
Zocha there means acquired.
All right. Misha niseit elu ve'elu modin. Okay? Now we come back to our Mishnah. When she married, both these and these acknowledge, Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. So we say, Lema tanina letakanat usha. Shall let us learn that this was part of an enactment that was carried out in Usha by the Beis Din when
a whole bunch of
when they met there, right? This whole series, right? Okay. Eduyos, if I remember correctly, lists a number here too. 5 of them so right. The Amar Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Chanina, who said as follows: Be'usha hitkinu. Okay, among those enactments that occurred in Usha, the following: Ha'isha shemachra b'nechsei melog. Excuse me, b'chaye ba'ala. A woman who sells her right, we can translate it nechsei melog, but I wanted to convey
property that's her property, but he has the right to.
Okay, it's her. Okay, no, you're right. I was looking for another term. I mean, your explanation is fine. Okay, this is her. She is still the owner, but he has the usufruct of that from her. Okay, b'chaye ba'ala umeta, and she dies. Habal motzi miyad halekuchot. The husband is able to take it from the purchasers because he inherits it.
Because he has a lien on it,
right.
And then he inherits.
Right. Matnitin, okay, our Mishnah, b'chayeha ulepeirot. Our Mishnah was dealing with a situation where she was alive and he had use of the peiros. Takanat Usha, the takana in Usha, begufa shel karka. That was referring to actual landed property. Ula'achar mita.
So now we have to rethink.
And that was after her. She died.
Because she has the right to sell her interest, which is the title to the land.
Right.
But she cannot sell his lien on the property, which gives him the right to the income.
Right. Correct.
And you have to go back and rethink everything we said, because you have to look at it all in that light. When it says he can take it back from the buyer,
it's only
it means he can. If it's a building in Manhattan, he can get the rent money.
Right. He can get back what would normally be due to him. Correct. From previously, right, but not the original title. Original.
Right. Well, what happens to it eventually?
Eventually, he gets it.
If she dies,
when she dies,
he inherits the whole thing.
He would inherit that.
And if he dies first, then her children who inherit his rights can collect the rent, the boys. And when she dies, the boys get title to the land.
Right. Okay, we're going to go on just a little bit more, okay, and then we'll finish up today, okay? Rabbi Shimon chalek bein hanechasim. Remember, Rabbi Shimon divided up, okay, between the two. Theoretically, the Gemara has told us those the husband knew or those the husband did not know, okay? Elu hein hayeduim ve'elu hein she'enam yeduim. These are the ones that are known, and these are the ones that aren't known. Ask the question. Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina. He says as follows: Yidu'in mikarka'e. What's known is actual landed property. She'enan yudu'in metaltalin. That's what's not known. Okay, is other items that she has. Could be a safe deposit box. It could be she's got jewelry that she keeps, someplace, whatever, private bank account, who knows? Okay. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Elu Yeduin Hein. Rabbi Yochanan disagrees and says even the metaltalin could be considered known property by him. Ve'elu Hein she'enan yudein. Okay, and these are what are not known by him. Kol sheyoshevet kan v'naflula nechasim b'medinas hayam. Okay, that she lives here with him, but she happens to own property in Israel or Italy or France or wherever. Okay, Tanya Nami Hachi, and we have a Braita that teaches this as well. Elu hein she'enan yeduim. This is what is not known. Kol sheyoshevet kan v'naflula nechasim b'medinat hayam. Okay, right, and I think we're going to stop there, because the next piece goes.
Beautiful story.
It's but it's a bit lengthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a marvelous story.
But it's worth again. Remember, we're dealing with different status at different times.
People do that exactly same thing today. Of course, they give everything to the kids so the husband can't get it. They still do that. Or it's called a prenup.
Right. We got an interesting Rashi coming up there too.
What?
I said we've got an interesting Rashi. I have certain Rashis marked. Okay.
Okay. Have a great day, all.
Take care, all.
Melvin, I want to stop it.